Welcome to the first Acuity video meetup of 2021. So today it's just myself, Jonathan Brown, founder of Acuity, and we also have Brendan on the call. Hopefully one or two other people will join as the call progresses. So Brendan, whereabouts are you calling from?
I'm from North Carolina in the United States.
Great. Okay. And I'm here in Vietnam. I'm recovering from a little bit of a cold, so my voice isn't the best, but I think it'll be okay. So for this call, I think we're just going to go through some of the questions that have come up in the community about what we're going to do with Acuity over the next year, and then we can just have a discussion about that. So one of the questions coming in is what are the plans for marketing Acuity? And one of the major things I'm most interested in is actually just making a lot of video content. So as we develop the platform, everything I do, I can actually make a video, and that can either be if it can be for something very technical, I can make a technical video, or I can make something that's more non-technical and just talking about how the platform will be used and that sort of thing. And then of course we can do a lot more on social media, just fully engaging, because now this is it's becoming a mainstream topic. Before it was, if you talked about decentralized social media, people wouldn't see the point. But now people are really thinking about it, and we can, anytime someone talks about this sort of thing on social media, then we can engage and explain why Acuity is different than other platforms. And if you want to jump in at any time, just feel free.
Okay, I was thinking the same thing. Like previously, I don't know if you noticed on the Discord, but there's been a pretty large Russian community, and they said like back when it was mixed, they were using it because obviously there's some censorship going on there. But now, like we're expanding to not just countries where censorship already has been existing, but people kind of preemptively want to have this sort of thing going on. So it'll be good.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there's so many different countries and different communities, and different people need this technology for different reasons. With some people, they just want to have more innovation. Instead of having a control platform, they want to have a better platform, and developers want to come in and change things. And then for other people, it's more about actually they're being shadow banned. They want to have confidence that when they publish, they understand what will happen, as opposed to just publishing into a black hole where you don't know how far your reach is going. Okay, so the next question was about exchanges. So at the moment, we're just trading on Stex, which is a centralized exchange that has KYC. And what I really envision for Acuity is that we will move into more of a DeFi environment. So with obviously on Ethereum, DeFi has been very popular. That's a big success, although it's the transactions on Ethereum are becoming very expensive for DeFi. And then with Polkadot coming up, I think it'll be an even bigger DeFi ecosystem, and also the transaction fees will be much less. So the first thing I want to do with Acuity is to finish the atomic swap exchange. So this will be a very simple, fully decentralized exchange where if you go to the Acuity website and you have both the Polkadot plugin, Polkadot browser plugin, and the MetaMask browser plugin for Ethereum, then you'll actually be able to trade. So you'll be able to lock up your your Acuity or your Ethereum and say, I want to sell it at this price. And then someone on the other end can then say, okay, I'm going to lock up my funds to pay for that. And then once they've locked up their funds, they can claim the funds on the other side, and then you can claim your funds. So it's a very robust and decentralized mechanism for trading cryptocurrency. So that'll be kind of the basic system. So that will always be in place. We know that'll work. And then after that, there's a lot more options. So there's a lot of technology is coming into Polkadot, where it'll be fairly easy to have an ERC20 token on Ethereum, a wrapped Acuity token, and then you'll be able to exchange this in a decentralized way, one-to-one with the real Acuity on the Acuity on the Acuity blockchain. So this means that if you want to trade your Acuity, your ACU in Ethereum DeFi, you'll be able to send it across. You'll get your wrapped ACU, and then you can put that on Uniswap or wherever, and then you can send it back to the Acuity blockchain. And then, of course, the whole idea with Polkadot is that all these Polkadot blockchains, such as Acuity, can connect together either through the Kusama relay chain or through the Polkadot relay chain. And there'll be systems in place for decentralized trading with any other coins or tokens in the Polkadot ecosystem. So I think that's really going to be a very robust way for Acuity to be traded, and then you won't have the need for KYC. You won't have expensive transactions like on Ethereum, and then it'll be totally permissionless, so no one can stop you from trading.
Just one thing, I'm sure you probably already were planning to, but you'll make a video about how to use the atomic swap just so people with less experience can understand and not be afraid to, because even just with like swapping over mixed ACU, there were a lot of questions. So
oh, for sure. Yeah, and that in itself can be great marketing, because I haven't really seen any other product doing that, where you have both browser plugins, and then you're able to to trade between them. So that video in itself, once it's operational and I make that video, then that could be something that goes viral by itself in the crypto community, and we can get a lot of attention from that.
And once the atomic swap is up and running and we get like price feeds and market cap for CoinGecko, people, like I was looking earlier, and there's like 45 coins under the Polkadot umbrella. So if someone sees like Polkadot coin less than $1 million market cap, that's gonna spark some interest.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the whole Polkadot ecosystem is really going to explode this year. I'm very, very excited about that. And with the atomic swap, so the core of that is a smart contract that I've been writing. So that's a contract written in Solidity, and the same smart contract will be deployed both on Ethereum and on Polkadot, and on Acuity rather. So that's coming together. So the smart contract is almost finished, and then I need to build the UI. But I think by the end of this month, I'll have it operational, and then of course there's a lot of things can be done to improve the UI. But yeah, I think we'll have that operational pretty soon. So next question. So with current user data protection issues with the big companies, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, WhatsApp, don't you feel ACU can go mainstream in the future as one of its unique decentralized social media? So yeah, I think there's a lot of potential, because if you're building any kind of platform or product on top of these centralized platforms, then you're kind of building on the sand. You don't know what's going to be switched on or switched off in future. It's very unreliable if you just use their APIs. Whereas if you're building on a blockchain technology, then you have total confidence that it will do what it's supposed to do. So you can, any developer can come in and uh, integrate with Acuity at any level. Every developer is fully privileged, and they can innovate in whatever way they want, build any kind of platform, and then they're not going to be switched off. If you try to innovate on Twitter and maybe you try to build like a better search engine or something for Twitter, then like Twitter will just if they don't like that, they can just switch you off. Whereas on Acuity, if you want to build a better search engine, then you can do that. No one can stop you, and no one can switch that off. So there's yeah, massive potential for innovation. Okay. So one of the next questions is it possible for DAO integration in the social media platform? Users who can have more tokens for voting and so on. So actually, every parachain in the Polkadot ecosystem, such as Acuity, is actually it's a DAO. It's a decentralized autonomous organization. So we already have the system where anyone can they can create a motion. They can, if they want to change something on the blockchain, they can create a motion, and then people can vote on that. There's quite an elaborate system of voting with you have the council that can be voted into place, and then they can vote on whether these motions should go ahead, and then it can go to a general vote as well for the whole community. So it's already, Acuity is already a DAO. And then once the decentralized social media is more fully built out, then we can put in mechanisms where people can use the DAO to govern the whole decentralized social media aspect of it as well. And I just got a message, so Crypto Lone Wolf is going to be here in 5 minutes.
I just had a question. You mentioned parachains. I'm not the most familiar with the overall structure of Polkadot, but not every chain connected to Polkadot will be a parachain, correct?
So with in Polkadot, so every blockchain is it's actually built with a blockchain construction kit called Substrate, and so you can build your blockchain with Substrate, and then it's kind of like a building block system. So you can build a blockchain with proof of work or proof of stake. You can put whatever features you want, but it can just be a standalone blockchain. And then optionally, you can connect either to Kusama or to Polkadot. So that's kind of what it means when you turn your blockchain into a parachain. So it means that you're connecting to a parent. So obviously the main one is Polkadot that you would connect to, and then Kusama it's basically identical to Polkadot, except that it's more experimental. So anytime they want to try something out for Polkadot, first of all, it will be deployed on Kusama, and then once that's shown to work, then it'll be deployed to Polkadot. And there's two different ways that that blockchains can connect to their parent relay chain. So the relay chain is either Polkadot or Kusama. And when you connect to a relay chain, you can either be a full power chain or you can be a power thread. So if your blockchain is a power thread, then that just means you're anytime you need to communicate with other blockchains, so you just pay as you go. So you can pay a fee for your transaction to be relayed to another blockchain. Whereas with a power chain, you're actually it's more like you have a phone contract, where instead of prepay or pay as you go, you're actually you make a contract for 2 years. You say I'm going to connect. I'm going to connect to the parent relay chain for 2 years, and then it's just it's a more permanent way of doing it, and that involves actually staking. So you have to you can do a crowd fund to raise the Kusama coin or the Polkadot coin, and then you use that to stake to get a permanent connection to your parent relay chain, and that can also if you're a real power chain, you also have shared security, which can be better for preventing 51% attacks. So that's the basic concept. But actually, it can have more layers. So it's not just a case of you have either Polkadot or Kusama at the top, and then your blockchain connects to one of those two. It can actually be a multiple layer hierarchy. So with Acuity, the idea would be that Acuity connects to either Kusama or Polkadot, but then each decentralized social community within Acuity would actually be its own power chain beneath the Acuity chain. So if you want to build like a new community, like let's say a decentralized Wikipedia or something like that, then that could be its own community in its own power chain that would then connect to Acuity, and then Acuity would then connect up to Polkadot or Kusama. So that's the basic idea, and I think every social community being in its own power chain is a very powerful concept. Does that answer your question?
Yes, and I think that'll help everyone else kind of understand as well. I hadn't heard about the hierarchy of like parachains within before, but that's interesting.
Great. Okay. Just check for some more questions. Okay, so people are asking, what are my priorities for ACU? And well, first and foremost, I want to get the atomic swap exchange running so that the free market can trade ACU and determine its real value. And then after that, we need to be doing a lot more marketing, a lot more communicating, and then actually I need to build the platform and migrate the functionality from Mix blockchain, which is the old blockchain, onto the new Acuity blockchain. We already have a lot of the functionality for a fully decentralized social media platform. So that's already implemented in smart contracts, written in Solidity, and that was all running on the previous Mix blockchain. So with the Acuity blockchain, we've installed the EVM palette. So that is the Ethereum virtual machine. So we can take the existing smart contracts from Mix, and they can be compiled and deployed onto the new Acuity blockchain, and then the front end then needs to be migrated across. So the goal is in the short term to have the functionality we had before on Mix, just get that up and running on Acuity using the existing smart contracts that are mature. And then later on, we can move to a hierarchical system where each community is its own parachain. And that would actually be more of a native implementation in Substrate, as opposed to using these smart contracts from Mix. Okay, so I think Wolf has just joined us.
Yeah, hey Jonathan, how are you?
Hi, whereabouts are you coming in from?
So joining from India.
Oh, great, great.
So hey Brandon there, and how's hey.
Okay, so we've just been going through some questions that came through from Crypto Dentist. I'm just going to have a look and see if we have any more.
I saw some of the questions posted in the Acuity social group, and so have you gone through it?
Let me check.
Okay, so first question was dropped by AB81. So will the team be expanded with more resources?
Oh yeah. So before, whenever we had mixed blockchain, and whenever the cryptocurrency was trading at a much higher value, so I was actually able to. The project was generating quite a lot of revenue at that time, and I was able to hire a lot of people to do a lot of different things in terms of development and marketing, and yeah, just build out the whole ecosystem. But then eventually what happened was the mix cryptocurrency, so that decreased in value, so it limited my ability to pay for developers and this sort of thing. So the idea is that now we're moving into this new bull market, and we're moving to Polkadot. So there's massive potential to raise the market value of Acuity. And then because we have this revenue smart contract that provides the revenue for building out the platform, the price only has to go up a little bit, and that already generates so much extra money for actually paying more people to do more in the community. So that's my intention, is just to push the price up further, and then it makes it easier just to hire more people and bring in more developers, more marketers, just to build the whole ecosystem.
Okay, sounds good. So so primarily I've seen in the group, Telegram group of Acuity. So there's a couple of concerns from the people, like the main initial thing that is required for a project to go higher in value. So that is, first of all, partnerships, a solid team. So right now, Jonathan, you are working alone in the team, right? So we need more people, because you cannot handle so many things at once. Like development is your thing, but marketing, getting in touch with the people, communication, there's a lot of roles. So I guess a team, either by hiring the team on board, or maybe someone from the community can decide which roles they can take care of, and there can be some system of rewards which is given to them in the future. I guess that will be the one thing. What's your views about that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, the best people to come on to help the project in terms of marketing and developer are people who already care about the project and want to get involved, as opposed to just hiring people and bringing them in. If someone is already caring about the platform, then that's much better. And then, of course, there's endless potential for if community members are making a big contribution, then we can have an arrangement to provide them with more ACU to pay them for what they're doing.
I guess you can discuss. We can put a poll there in the community, or I guess a Google form. Who specialize in what in the XU group, and whatever they can contribute to. So like I've been into marketing for last 8 years, digital marketing. So I can obviously get into that and provide some help there. while also the communication. So if there are any developers, or I guess social media people, or someone who has network with the other projects, so they can get us working with the partnerships as well. So these are the things I guess we should go with the Google form and give other people a chance, which in which field they want to contribute in. So
Yeah.
that is one thing. Okay. And Brandon, Hesh, any views, any comments here?
No, I think you're covering good points. I'm sure there's already been people saying they're willing to help out however they can. I think people just like if we could get a list going of things like this is what we need to work on, and then people who have the skills needed for those tasks can step forward. But it's just really figuring out what needs to be done that can be done by people with like less technical skill than you.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, so yeah, Jonathan.
Yeah, I think that's great. Yeah, we can have a Google form and put it out and just find out the ways that people want to want to contribute, and then make sure there's a system where they will receive Acuity, and then of course as that goes up in value, then they will be rewarded more
Yes,
for what they're
definitely.
doing.
Okay, so let's focus on the core principle. So let's discuss about the team only. So once I want the team to be in touch with you on a regular weekly call, or sometimes twice a week. So few of the members that you select, Jonathan. So they can be a core part of the team who will be in touch with you, so that the Telegram group or the people out there on Twitter, they don't miss out on any communication. So a couple of the people has to be in contact with you. You select them, and then we'll be communicating whatever the exchanges, partnerships, or anything about the equity that has been going on, so that nobody misses out. So I guess first thing is that you decide couple of people who will be in board with you, like they'll be in constant touch with you. That is the primary thing. Once we are done with that, I guess then we should be focusing on the product. That is the atomic swap that is you're working on. So as you said in the group that it'll be around the end of this month, I guess, complete. Yeah. So that's good. That's a good news for everyone, I guess. Atomic Swap is on board, so we'll have a system in place for, and obviously, once the Atomic Swap is working, the things on CoinGecko and CoinMag market cap is also can be updated, right? With the market cap.
Yeah, absolutely. And then I want to do this call once a week. And then the idea with this call is that it can either be live or just published afterwards. And of course, it also makes sense to have maybe have a private meeting as well once a
Yes,
week.
sure. That sounds good. So I guess we can decide that in the private group that we have for equity. I guess we can decide that there who will be the people close in the team. And so okay, so I was seeing a question here in the group that what is the plan for marketing? When do you think it will be implemented? So okay, Jonathan, do we have a timeline or any marketing plan in place? Like once the atomic swap is there, so we need to build a certain hype, because other projects have been doing a lot of marketing, so we need some promoters or influencers there in the Twitter.
So there's different kinds of promotion. One of the things I've done before is actually make regular videos about what I'm doing, and
Yeah.
that I think that can be very effective. Just make short little videos, either technical or non-technical, just to show people what we're doing. Maybe talk about some if there's discussions coming up about decentralized social media, I can respond to that. And like at the moment people are talking about that a lot. There's a lot of blog posts and Twitter feeds. We also need to get onto other podcasts, both in the blockchain sphere, but also people outside of blockchain are not now talking about decentralized social media. And and that's kind of just what I can do myself. But then there's so much scope for people in the community to also do their promotion. That can either be something they want to do by themselves, or it can be something more coordinated. Obviously, if I like at the moment we have this the atomic swap is coming up, so potentially we can build buzz around that, get everybody talking about it, and well, people also love these countdowns on the website. So if we know for sure that something is going to be ready, then we can have a countdown just to get people excited about it. We could even have it that people can make their that they can make their orders, but their orders can't be matched until the countdown reaches 0, something like that. There's a lot of potential.
Okay, sounds good. What I've seen in the last few days in that group, some of the questions that are popping in my mind right now. So first of all, a few people have asked in the group that how they haven't seen any app or any website that displays or demos them on the social site, that Acuity Social, how it will be looking, what the functionality will be, what the core principles will be based on that site. So to have any scope in seeing these things in the future, like coming months?
In terms of getting listed as being part of the Polkadot community, is that what you're saying?
Sorry?
Are you saying there's these lists and infographics about projects in the Polkadot community? So we need to reach out and just either contact them directly or by just being more visible and communicating. I know there's a couple of like weekly email lists where people they talk about the latest news in the Polkadot ecosystem.
Basically, that is a good point that we can do, incorporate that in the future roadmap. Plus, one of the things that I'm talking about is that the Acuity social platform that you will be making in future, the decentralized social media platform. So do we have any demo or any infographics or anything like that related that they give them that overview of the platform? So they haven't, when they come in the group, they see, okay, it's a Acuity social platform, but they don't see any app or any website that provides them the functionality or give them an overview. So that is missing right now.
So yeah, so at the moment, there's two things. So there's a lot of content on the YouTube video that shows a lot of the existing functionality and a lot of presentations that we've had. And then also on the website, we do have a technology section that shows all the features and explains how those are implemented with smart contracts. But yeah, it would make sense to actually just have a single infographic just explaining the whole idea. We do have there's also the deck as well that's in PDF format. But yeah, I think just having a single infographic that explains the whole thing would be a good idea.
Okay, good. So okay. And yeah, one of the thing that WACU, so wrap version of ECU. So obviously Polka is building their Pokeswap, so which will be a bridge between ERC20 and dot coins. So do you think is it possible for you before they launch? Do you have any idea about the Pokeswap? When soon they can launch? Have any idea, insider?
It's the bridge functionality in Polkadot is what we're waiting for. I'm not sure when that's going to be ready, but I think within the next couple of months that will be like a standard technology within Polkadot.
Okay, so do you think if there's any possibility, like after the atomic swap is done, is there any possibility or worth the effort that if you will be able to build or you have some developers who help you build the wrap version of ACU. Unlike KLP, which however their token didn't work out. But if we could get a wrap version of ACU on the Uniswap, so it will give ACU some advantage plus a marketing boost over the crypto market. So like one of the other project that is going on the Uniswap is ACU. So obviously that gave KLP the boost. Obviously it will be, if we are able to work it out perfectly, then it will surely be working charms for the ACU token. Do you think the possibility there?
Yeah, I mean there is the potential. We got to look at the timeline for how soon that it'll be available, properly implemented in Polkadot. But yeah, it would be possible just to create a simpler version in the meantime. So maybe we can lock up some of the Acuity on the Acuity blockchain, and then mint a token on Ethereum and allow people to trade that with the assumption that it can be converted just in a more centralized manner, and that could potentially be implemented sooner. So that's definitely something to look into.
And we have got the funds that is required for the liquidity for Uniswap, so there won't be any problem for that.
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds good. Okay, so any timeline then when we can expect this, or how much time it will take?
I guess for me, the thing I'm concentrating most is to build the atomic swap functionality.
Yes,
and then I can I can do some analysis and see how far the bridge functionalities come along, and then just work out if there's a way to do something sooner, and then work out how to we can market that. I mean that can be it's a means for people to get in early.
Okay, that sounds good. Okay, so one thing at a time, that's a good thing. So once atomic swap is launched, I guess second thing that we can look forward to is equity holders, like the bridge functionality that can be worked on. Okay, that's a good thing. Okay, anything else? If anything is joining in or listening to this. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, just people asking how soon it will be able to actually use the product. Excuse me. So yeah, I explained earlier the strategy is we can bring across the existing functionality from Mix blockchain, and then later on we'll develop a more native substrate implementation of the social media.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, Brandon, Haish, anything you guys have or any questions?
I'm good. I think this has gone well so far.
Okay, great. I think that's good for a call. All right, I think we have covered most of the things. First, the last thing that people have most anticipated, that if atomic swap is a great thing. Like we all really appreciate you working on this, and it will give us the opportunity, right? But if there is a possibility of listing on other exchanges in the short to medium term in future, like next month or maybe next 2 months, if there is another exchange that we can list on.
So I'm very keen to stay more in the world of DeFi. With these centralized exchanges, people have to do KYC.
Yes.
People end up they leave their funds on the exchange, and we've had problems with people losing their mix when an exchange shuts down. And then, of course, the other problem is that once any cryptocurrency that's traded on a centralized exchange, the exchange can actually just they can mint more of the cryptocurrency out of nothing and sell that and really control the price. So I think a lot of centralized exchanges are quite corrupt, and they kind of manipulate prices, and they communicate with each other to determine how they're going to manipulate the prices. And then of course, if that means they have foreknowledge of what the price is going to be, and they can gamble on that, and then
Yeah,
they
like
sell this information. So I kind of think that these centralized exchanges are actually there's a lot of negatives, and because DeFi, it's been great on Ethereum, but it is expensive. But once that really takes off in Polkadot, then it'll be so much better than all of these centralized exchanges, and without the risk, and without the expense. So I'm kind of more minded to focus on DeFi, as
okay,
opposed to bringing in more risk into the project.
okay, that's great. Okay. All
I'm
right.
looking at the roadmap for Pokeswap, which will obviously help us a lot. And it says by the end of quarter 1, so like 2.5 months from now, they'll have the mainnet launched as well as the Ethereum bridge. So that's not very far in the future.
All right. I guess we have covered most of the things that have been asked in the community.
Yeah, I think that's everything. So I've been recording this call, so I'll be able to either upload it in full, or chop it up. We'll see. I'll see what it's like, and then I'll be able to publish that on YouTube.
Sure, that'll be great. Okay. And the next Thursday we'll be having this call. Plus,
Yeah.
let's set few things so we can work it out before that next call. So first is the Google form. Okay, and let's decide the roles who will be contributing in. And so one thing that needs to be done is the Google form. And once it is done, so we can come up with a marketing plan. So I can help with that. I'll create a presentation on what things can be done and how the plan should be. So if it helps the team, if they appreciate it, then we can work it on.
Great. Yeah. Thanks so much. That's great. And thanks everybody for joining the call. I'll go through the call and just create these action items.
Okay. Okay. Great.
Great.
Thanks.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks everybody, and I'll make a post once it's online.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks everyone.
Thanks, Jonathan. Thanks, guys. Bye bye.